Can y'all hear the good music playing?
Now, this is the Big Bopper speaking. Oh, you sweet thing. Do I want? Will I want? Oh, baby, you know what I like. Chantilly lace and a pretty face and a lace tail hanging down, wiggling the walk and a giggling the talk. Big world around, there ain't nothing in the world like a big-eyed girl that make me act so funny, make me spend my money, make me think. When the chimes ring 5, 6, and 7, we'll be right in 7. And we're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We'll take 9, 10, 11, 2. How we going strong and so will you. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 12, we'll pull off and start rocking around the clock again. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
Deep down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans, way back up in the woods among the evergreens, there stood a log cabin made of earth and wood, where lived a country boy named Johnny B. Good, who never ever learned to read or write so well, but he could play a guitar just like a ringing a bell. Go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go! Johnny B. Good. He used to carry his guitar and a gunny sack, go sit beneath the tree by the railroad track, bowling and everything sitting in the shade, strumming with the rhythm that the drivers made. The people passing by, they would stop and say, well, my, but that little country boy could play. Go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go! Johnny be good. His mother told him someday you will be a man, and you will be the leader of a big old band. Many people coming from miles around to hear you play your music when the sun go down. Maybe someday your name will be in lights fame. Johnny be good tonight. Go, 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 Johnny, go. 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 Go, Johnny be good.
You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much love drives a man insane. You broke my will, but what a thrill. goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I let you love what I thought it was funny. You came along and woo, now honey, I changed my mind. This girl is fine. Great balls of fire. Kisses the baby. It was good. Oh, the baby. Well, the sugar. You're fine. So kind. You tell this world that you're mine. That you my nails down and I quit on my thumb. I'm real nervous, but it's so it's fun. Come on, baby. They drive me crazy. It's just great balls of fire. Kisses me, baby. Feels good. Oh, me, baby. Well, love is good. You're fine. So kind. You tell this world that you mine. That you mine. You got that queen on my tongue. Real nervous about it, show is fun. Come on, baby. Drive me crazy. Mr. Straight balls of fire. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. You're crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Crying all the time. Well, you ain't never put a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Well, I said you was high class. Well, that was just fine. Yeah, they said you was high class. Well, that was just fine. Yeah, you ain't never put a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Crying all the time. Well, you ain't never put a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Well, I said you was high class. Well, that was the line. Yeah, they said you was high class. Well, that was just a lie. Yeah, you ain't never gonna have it, and you ain't no friend of mine. Well, they said you was high class. Well, that was just a lie. You know they said you was high class. Well, that was just a lie. Yeah, you ain't never put a rabbit. You ain't no friend of mine. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit. You ain't no friend of mine. For goodness sake, I got that big shake. I got that shake. I got that big shake. Oh, I can't keep still with that big shake. I cannot feel now with that big shake. Yeah, it's in the back. Oh, the hippie shake. You shake it to the left, you shake it to the right. Do the hippie shake with all of your heart, baby. Oh, you gotta shake. Well, it's in the back. Woo. The hippie shake. Woo.
shake it to the left, you shake it to the right. Do it, shake, shake it all off your body, oh baby. You gotta shake. Well, what's in the back? The hippie, hippie shake. Oh, I can't keep still with the hippie, hippie shake. Making my with the hippie, hippie shake. Yeah, it's in the back. The hippie, hippie shake. The hippie, hippie shake. The hippie, hippie shake.
Hello, baby. Yeah, this is the Big Bopper speaking. Oh, you sweet thing.
Do I want? Will I want?
Oh, baby, you know what I like. Chantilly lace and a pretty face and a ponytail hanging down, wiggling the walk and a wiggling the talk. Make the world round, there ain't nothing in the world like a big-eyed girl to make me act so funny, make me spend my money, make me feel real loose like a long neck, use like a girl.
Oh, baby, that's what I like.
What's that, baby? But, oh, honey. Oh, baby, you know what I like. Chantilly lace and pretty face out of ponytail, hanging out, wiggling the walk and a wiggling the talk. Oh, baby, the world round, there ain't nothing in the world like a big-eyed girl. Make me act so funny, make me spend my money, make me feel real like a long neck, goose like a girl. Oh, baby, that's what I like. What's that, honey? Pick you up at 8 and don't be late. But baby, I ain't got no money, honey. Oh, all right, honey, you know what I like. Chantilly lace and a pretty face, ponytail hanging down, a wiggle in the walk and a wiggle in the talk. Love, baby, the world around. There ain't nothing in the world like a big-eyed girl to make me act so funny, make me spend my money, make me feel loose like a long neck, goose like a girl. Oh, baby, that's what I like.
Come on, everybody. Clap your hands. Oh, you're looking good. I'm going to sing my song. It won't take long. We're going to do the twist, and it goes like this. Come on, let's twist again. Like we did last summer. Yeah, let's twist again. Like we did last year. Do you remember when we really had it? Yeah, let's twist again. Twist the time is here. Round and up and down we go. Oh, baby, make me know you love me so. Let's twist again, like we did last summer. Come on, twist again, like we did last year. Who's that flying up there? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it the twister? Twist again.
You love me so. Then come on, twist again, like we did last summer. Yeah, let's twist again, like we did last year. Come on, twist again. Twist the time is here.
Well, I'm gonna write a little letter, I'm gonna mail it to my local DJ. Yeah, it's a jumping little record I want my jockey to play. Roll over Beethoven, I gotta hear it again today. You know my temperature rising, the jukebox blowing the fuse. My heart beating rhythm and my soul keeps singing the blues. Roll over Beethoven, tell Tchaikovsky to move. I got the rockin' pneumonia, I need a shot of rhythm and blues. I caught the rolling arthritis sitting down at a rhythm review. I roll over Beethoven, they're rocking in 2 by 2. Well, if you feel it and like it, forget your lover, then reel and rock it. Roll it over, then move on up. Yes, sir. Try for further, then reel and rock with one another. Roll over Beethoven, dig these rhythm and blues. Early in the morning, I'm giving you my morning. Don't you step on my blue suede shoe. Hey, diddle, I'ma play my fiddle. Ain't got nothing to lose. Roll over Beethoven, tell Tchaikovsky to move. You know she wiggle like a glowworm, dance like a spinning top. She got a crazy partner, you ought to see him reel and rock. Long as she got a dime, the music won't never stop. I roll over Beethoven, 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 dig to the rhythm and blues. Bop, 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 to the boot, oh, to the boot, oh, to the boot, oh, to the boot, to the boot, oh, bop, 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 I got a girl named Sue. She knows just what to do. I got a girl named Sue. She knows just what to do. She rock to the east. Rock to the west, but she's the gal that I love best. To the booty, oh Rudy, 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 to the booty, oh Rudy. Bop, bop, doo, bop, 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 bop. I got a gal named Daisy. She almost drives me crazy. Got a gal named Daisy. She almost drives me crazy. She knows how to love me, yes indeed. But you don't know what you do to me. To the booty, oh Rudy, 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 to the booty, oh Rudy. Pop, pop, pop. Got a gal named Daisy. She almost drives me crazy. Got a gal named Daisy. She almost drives me crazy. She knows how to love me, yes indeed. Boy, you don't know what she do to me. To the booty, oh Rudy, to the booty, oh Rudy, to the booty, oh Rudy.
sakes alive, I never thought this could happen to me. Yeah. I got stung by a sweet honey bee. When I feel it come on the back of me, it started in my eyes, kept up in my head, flew to my heart. I was stung, did I run? I got stung. Yeah. She had all that I wanted to know, and I've seen honey bees before. She started buzzing in my ear, her arms and in my brain. I'm stung all over when I feel it in my head. I got stung, and I don't think I'm complaining. I'm mighty baby, cause you get me one little bit on the back of my neck, and I break out in a cold, cold sweat. I don't let nobody sting me but you. I'll be glad tonight and I have every day if I'm never gonna leave inside right behind you. I got stung. Yeah. And I don't think I'm complaining. I'm mighty pleased with that, cause you give me one little bit on the back of my neck, and I break out in a cold, cold sweat. I won't let nobody sting me but you. I'll be back to run behind you every day if I'm never gonna leave inside right when I'm done. I got stuck. Yeah.
You rock and you can roll it, do the stop and even stroll it at the hop. When the record stops spinning, you chill it, so when you're chicken at the hop. Do the dance sensations that are sweeping the nation at the hop. Let's go to the hop. Let's go to the hop, oh baby. Let's go to the hop, oh baby. Let's go to the hop. Let's go to the hop. You can swing it, you can groove it, you can really start to move it at the hop. Where the jockey is the smoothest and the music is the coolest at the hop. All the cats and the chicks can get their kicks at the hop. Let's go! Let's go to the hop. Let's go to the hop, oh baby. Let's go to the hop, oh baby. Let's go to the hop. Let's go to the hop. Let's go. You can roll it, do the stop and even stroll it at the hop. When the record stops spinning, you chill it, so when you're chicken at the hop. Do the dance sensations that are sweeping the nation at the hop. You can swing it, you can groove it, you can really start to move it at the hop. Where the jockey gets the moves and the music gets cool at the hop. All the cats and the chicks can get their kicks at the hop. Let's go! Let's go to the hop. Let's go to the hop, oh baby. Let's go to the hop, oh baby. Let's go to the hop. Let's go to the hop.
Well, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, ooh, wee. Look at that, look at that, look at that, ooh, wee. Ooh, ooh. Well, she's so fine, fine, fine. She's so fine, fine. She's so fine, and she's so fine, fine, fine. She's really sweet, the kind of get me on me. Oh, 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 oh. See, the finest girl ever on me. Well, have you ever seen a girl for whom you sold your dip, for whom you fight or die for credit? She's so fine. She's so fine. She's really.
What are you guys doing up this late? Taking a break. I didn't like being here alone, so I thought I'd turn the video on. Are you guys hearing me or watching me work? I gotta go out there and shut the jet. It's snowing hard here, guys. Till about 2. My windows are tinted. I'll show you the snow here, Peaches. Just sorting and going through this stuff. You guys look for some. You guys want to help me look for some storage units? We'll actually turn the camera around, and you guys can maybe help me find a storage unit. That's what we'll do. I'll take a break here. Let me lower this a little bit, and it won't show you all that. We will go to here, there, and we'll look at some storage units. I don't think you guys will get my stickers away. I can't see your comments though. I'll jump back in there every once in a while. I'm hungry for another good storage unit. All right, guys, this is what I've been looking at. There's one in Memphis, Tennessee, ending in 37 minutes. Not even gonna look at it. Huntsville, Alabama. Whiteland, Indiana. This is what I do to try to find storage units. And as you can see, I'm not even clicking on any of these. Now this is a 10 by 20. Looks like some leftover construction material. Man, that's a big nutcracker. Good night. I think 6 foot tall. So that shelf would be around 5 or 6 foot. Goodness. Not nothing I'd be interested in. See the leftover carpet padding right there. And they've got 2 more units and they look about the same. Yeah, we'll put the music back on when I get back to work. I'm going to swap back over and see what you guys are saying. Yeah, a lot of tools. Trap there. Not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. So I'm going to go ahead and go out of this one. We looked at one the other day. They went for $12,600. That one's sort of interesting. Been there for a while. A lot of dust. That's pretty cool right there. See where there's empty boxes and stuff? Nah, not for me. And you know what it is, and I'm going to tell you guys. A lot of the people that lose their units, that's got 9 hours. Go to page 2. A lot of people that lose their units, it's when the economy is really, really, it's a hard economy. And right now with Trump's economy, people are making more money. And that's the only picture they took of that. See how big it was. It's a 10 by 15. It's at 460. It ends in the morning at 10 o'clock. Danville, Indiana. It's a lot of artwork there. A lot of crafts. And it's so far away from us. There's what we call a boat anchor. There's a sewing box right there. Christmas lights, Halloween stuff, Christmas paper, Christmas items. A lot of paint there for artwork. You know, if this was closer, that'd be a unit I might be interested in. But it's not. It's probably like 5 hours away. Electric guitar with case. And that's all the pictures they did. And if the manager was smart, they would have done a picture of if it's a Gibson. They didn't show that. Well, they actually took the guitar out of the case, which are not actually supposed to go in the unit. And the laws vary from state to state. But apparently they went in this unit and took that guitar out. And I can't make out what that is. So That's down there in Georgia. I like units that are completely packed. That's where I've done my best on. And I'm not seeing that. Well, here's one 10 by 10. That's in South Carolina. Let's see what it's got. They stored a lot of their baby items. Their babies done growed up, and they stored a lot of that items in there. They had a pet. There's a pet cage. Can't get a lot of clues on that, but it is. It looks like an indoor unit. Fishing tackle box. There is one arrow there, so there might be some hunting stuff in there. Man, that's awful big Wii. Never seen a Wii that big. Yeah, you can't make heads or tails out of this. But you see, it's an indoor unit, so nah. Another one that's not for me. I was going back and reading your comments real quick. Now, they bid this one up to $420, and the description says boxes, bags, basket, chairs, clothing, shoes, musical instruments, small toolbox, totes, and tools. Let's see what it looks like. This one, let me see who's the Compass Self Storage. I'm not familiar with them. I know there's some in Nashville, but I'm not familiar with the ones in Georgia. It looks like it's actually been gone through by a manager to a certain point. Nobody stores just boxes like that. Now, these boxes back here have not been gone through. They stopped at the first part of the unit, so personal candles. Beverly. So nobody stores a unit like this. They want to get all the room they can. So you see how the boxes are like sort of jaggled around a little bit? That's not what I look for. That tells me that somebody has actually went through these boxes, sort of looked through it a little bit. And some managers will actually tell their friends about it, or they may buy the unit themselves because they're the ones cutting the locks. And people do not just throw shoes down in a unit. That tells me some of the boxes have been went through. Nobody stores items like that. So I steer clear of these units. Even though they can't go through everything in the unit, they do their best to. So we're going to skip that one. That ends tomorrow. We're going to page 3, then we're going to have to get back to work. It's 1 a.m. here. 10 by 20. Not interested. There's just no good units coming up. This one here in Georgia intrigues me. Because they did one picture, and that's it right there. I have no idea what's in these boxes here because you can't make them out. Pretty good sized fish aquarium. I do like the settee here. That's all the pictures I got. This is a 10 by 10. They did one picture. And at the same place, this one here, I've looked at these already. They actually did 3 pictures here. I can't make out what's in these totes. I think it's parts. This hangs over your pool table. And there's another car part. And that comes from Harbor Freight. And these, I think, are Cobalt or the ones that come from Harbor Freight. And if you'll see right here, there's a motorcycle, maybe a mini bike, pet carrier. And they didn't do a lot of pictures. These are 2 I've been looking at. That one's at 6:10. That ends at 1 o'clock tomorrow. And those are 2 units down there that I'd be interested in. But because it's actually says a motorcycle's in there, right there, this unit will probably go for around 12 or 1300. And you probably can get maybe 150, 200 out of that dirt bike. And this is what I've been up against. Trying to find that next good unit for you guys to have some good items to bid on. Now, this is in Beaufort, Georgia. They've done several pictures. It's sort of been in there a while. You can see the cobwebs. They didn't mess with this one much. That's probably got clothes in it because it's smashed. There's a nice looking freezer there. I hate lamps. I guess y'all see me throwing them away a while ago. And it's sort of empty towards the back, if you'll look back there. And a grill that's covered up. They actually put a live plant in here and it died. So that sort of tells you how long this has been in there. And most of I skim through these pretty fast because I can sort of look at them right off the start and tell if it's they actually put a lot of live plants in there. What's up with that? And they stored some food. You see the bice droppings here? So that tells me they actually stored some food in there. So that's not a good sign. And it being so scattered in the back, they came back. This isn't a manager that's done this. They came back and actually got some items out of here. Because like I said, nobody stores stuff like that. Nobody just throws their coffee tables in there and stuff. Unless they're coming back looking for certain items to sell to try to make ends meet. And then they'll just go through it and try to stroll stuff around. And it's killing me. This is my go-to place to get my inventory in. There's just not been really good units coming up for sale. I'll show you guys some good units and I'll get back to work on the front page. Let me go ahead and scan down through here. I got to look at this one. I don't know what that is. Oh, that goes on the back end of a motorcycle. Not a lot in that unit. Down in the Memphis area. Then we're going to page 4, and then I'll go to the front page and show you guys some really good units. And somebody has bid This up to $130 for a couch and ottoman. All right, let me go ahead and show y'all some of the better units. You might live out that way and want to bet on. But yeah, I seen that unit go for $12,600, and all because they had a gun safe in it. And there's no guarantee that there was any guns or just things in that unit. Here's one right here that's at $6,000. And usually we get a good unit, we're paying around $3,000. This unit right here has been up for sale probably over the last year several times. The owner comes in at the last minute and pays it off. It's got some signed football helmets and basketballs that you can see. And no guarantee that those Louis Vuitton luggage is real or knockoffs. And you can pretty well see everything else in the unit. And I don't really think those, and what they're counting on is there being more sports memorabilia in there, but you can almost count what's in there. It's almost like it was staged. And this thing has been up for sale several times, and they pay it off at the last minute. And right now, what did I say? It was up to $6,000. There's a baseball. I wonder who that's signed by. A baseball bat that's in a case. So you're looking at tops here. And if all of these are signed and they've got their certificate with them, maybe 9 or 10, average 150 each, that's $1,500. If these are real, probably at auction, you're talking about maybe 300 or 400, and you're taking a gamble on all the rest of that. And this unit is already at $6,000. And we all know how furniture does now. It doesn't do good at all. And that looks to be what's in the rest of the unit. And it's at $6,000 right now. Ends in 11 days. They'll probably pay it off again. I don't understand why when they pay it off, they don't go and sell this stuff. It just behooves me the way some people do. That one's in California. I didn't look at that. That's way too far for me to go. And let's see this one. That's where it's at. That's a new one I've not looked at. That's in New York City. It says designer sneakers, toys, vacuums, and chairs. And it's at $3,140. And they're counting on those shoes actually being in those boxes. Wow. That is I don't know what that is. Miniature go-kart, remote control car. Yeah, they're counting on all these Nikes being in there. and been in great shape. That unit is only 5x10. All right, guys. I've looked at it enough. Yeah, Louis Vuitton. That's what I was trying to say, Nathan. D. Scott, we actually rent trucks because I've been on a dry spell as far as buying units. I did get one in Radcliffe, Kentucky. Wasn't much punkin', but the last one I got in Sterling, it was Sterling, Virginia. Really good unit. You guys have been buying a lot of the jewelry on it, and we yeah, y'all want to have an auction? David's ready for an auction. I haven't got a clerk here. I guess I gotta write it down. This would be the midnight auction, wouldn't it? Yeah, it is oversaturated, Nathan, for sure. I know you was, Sandra. Yeah, when you get it, when they're so far away, Glorious, you gotta consider your U-Haul rental, your gas. 2 a.m. Yeah, it's 1:16 here. You got to consider your U-Haul, your labor, your gas, your eats, and that's where people that live locally, within maybe an hour from the place, they have a upper hand on people that's bidding on them. Yeah, I've got units. I got one in Atlanta one time that was full of shoes, and I thought it done really good on it. They was all new shoes, and I didn't make a lot of money on them because they're just really hard to push and to sell. Well, you guys know these shoes I got from the Sterling, Virginia unit. You know what, they go $15, $20 tops. You know, there was like $80 and $90 pairs of shoes. It's just really hard to make any money on those particular items. All right, guys, I'm gonna crank the music back up, and I'll try to shift the camera around a little bit so you guys can watch me slaving down here and working. And I'm really, when I bought the unit at Radcliffe, I was really wanting a unit just to be able to go through stuff. And you get in a drought sometimes when you're buying storage units to where you don't get a really good one. And we hit some good ones up, Sterling, Virginia, the ones in Atlanta, Georgia. They were really good. And then all of a sudden we go on a drought, and it takes us a little while. But what you do, you try not to get too anxious. And if you get too anxious, you're going to wind up buying some junk units that just work yourself to death and you don't make any money. And what we try to do now, unless the unit's really close, I'll go after some of those units. That's the cheaper units. But like the one I bought in Sterling, Virginia, what did I tell you guys that I had invested in that? $6,000 in the units I bought up there. I think it was right at $6,000. And we probably sold on that unit up there. We have probably already sold, I'd say at least $30,000. And that's between us 15 in this room right now. I think it was like $6,000 I had in it, and it was a really gamble, but I read my clues, and I did all right on that. And then the units I bought in Atlanta, Georgia, I still have the Civil War letters. over 200 of them. And guys, you should have bought them at $10,000. I think I actually went down to 6,000. You should have bought them because we got the Margaret Mitchell letter, all the transcripts, all the Civil War letters, and I had $10,000 in my hand, a check, and I turned around and gave it back because we're looking more like it from $70,000 to $100,000 for the Civil War letters. I've not sold them yet, and that's the other part. You may find a treasure like that, but it's getting it out there on the market and promoting it and trying to get the buyers for it. And we actually have a neighbor that flies for Hank Williams Jr., and he's a big Civil War collector. And we're going to try to get those Civil War letters documented and videoed and get them out there on the market pretty soon. And what that would mean for you guys, if we get a pretty good price for them, we'll be able to go a little bit farther out and maybe pay a little bit more for some of the units and get you guys some good stuff to bid on. And that's my main goal. I don't like having junk stuff to sell. I don't like selling $2.50 items, $4 items. I don't mind it because I know there's a lot of people that's interested in those particular, the lower priced items. But if you look at it from a business standpoint, you're better off when you're selling from $20 to $100 to $200 items. So that's the kind of units I'm trying to go for. And I try to keep the lower items, less priced items, because I want to try to please everybody when I do my auctions. But as a business perspective, you really need to sell items that will bring 20 to 30, in that range right there to make it a successful business. And that's what we try to do. And I like selling the rare items. I love auctioneering rare items or items that are really sought after. It's just a cool thing to do for me. I love that. And when I'm selling, that's why you're seeing me throwing a lot of the items into a tote. I think up at the one of the 5 Great Lakes, what was it? Lake Erie. I think it was like 13 hours. That's the farthest we drove to get a unit. And you talking about, probably Sterling, Virginia was like 12 hours from us, or 13 hours. And we drove that straight through. We actually stayed all night in Maryland and then drove down to Sterling, Virginia the next morning, which was about 30 minutes away. That's probably the farthest we drove. But probably besides the Civil War letters and the Atlanta unit, probably the best unit we've ever got was the unit we got in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I don't know why I got that turned around there. But the unit in Chattanooga, Tennessee was the unit we found about $30,000 in scrap gold. We bought 3 units down there, and we had a total of, I'm thinking, $1,600 in all the units. It was 3 units we bought, and counting U-Hauls and all that, probably had $3,000 in it. And we, some of you done heard this story. The guys had gone back for a second trip because we didn't get 2 or 3 U-Hauls. We just had one. And this lady was she would shop and buy like several things. You guys probably remember me selling some of the like dish detergent and some of the like deodorants, and she'd buy 20 or 30 bottles and stuff. And we sold a lot of that. And me and India was in the building behind her house where we used to have our auctions. and I think Ricky and a few others had gone back to get another load, and there was these great big old barrels that she would just stuff brand new clothes in with tags and uh, laundry detergent, perfumes, things like that. And it was about 2 o'clock in the morning, about like it is now. And I said, I'm going to move these barrels out of the way so we can get to the good boxes that's got good items in them. And I moved one barrel out of the way, and I said, for some reason, I looked down in that barrel. I took the band off and took the lid off of it, and it was new clothes with tags and stuff, which is really hard to sell. And I reached down there, I felt a suitcase. It was probably a suitcase about like this, and where the two zippers meet, there was a padlock, a little bitty lock. So I took two opening wrenches, and I popped that padlock, and it felt heavy. And we've been finding a lot of boxes of jewelry boxes that were empty. And I unzipped it, and there was gold. It was gold necklaces. It was from Sandra bought a lot of that. It was gold necklaces, gold from 14 karat, mostly 14 karat to 22 karat. And we started crying because I told India it was all real. And I left the building, and I was going to go get her scales and the loop to be able to weigh stuff. And we started weighing it up. And I think we got to like $17,000 in just scrap price alone, not counting the jewelry value. And we started crying. No kidding. And I was going back in the house to get something else, and I was shouting and going up the backyard. And I told my neighbors the next day, no, I wasn't drinking. We just had a good find. And it was just like watching one of the game shows where they win, where like Price is Right, where they land on the $10,000 wheel or whatever. And went back out there, and we weighed everything up, and it was just great. And then we kept searching through. We actually, where a sleeve was in a gown. Charles found this. It was like knotted up, and there was a big bag of gold in there. And it was like 7,000. So we wound up finding like 30,000 scrap gold value alone. And then I think Christy and Ricky Shields was helping us go through stuff, and there was like bank envelopes where you would cash a check, and you'd have a envelope where they put the money in. They would leave like $10 and $15 in there, and as much as $50. I think we wound up. It was probably close to $1,000 where they left just in these envelopes. So that's why it's important to go through like envelopes. If you buy a unit, go through the envelopes and stuff, because you don't never know what you're going to find. But that unit was a good unit. But on the other hand, we had just bought a unit in Clarksville, Tennessee that had empty boxes, $800 worth of empty boxes. Wasted day, wasted time. So it sort of evens itself out. About every 8 years, you come across a unit like that, and it sort of evens things out. But this year has been 2019 was pretty good with the Civil War letter find and the Atlanta, Georgia finds, the Sterling, Virginia finds. It was a pretty good year this year. So we're hoping this year has been so far as a bust. We bought, one unit this year. That was a unit in Radcliffe, Kentucky, which was a bust. But we're looking for units, and we're going to find that next good unit. And it don't have to be the $1,000 worth of gold or jewelry. Just common stuff, just good items that we can sell at auction. That's what we count on, because collectibles and antiques have dropped quite a bit. They're on their way back up. But right now, somebody drove to buy a microwave for me for $15, $20, then go to Walmart and buy it for $80 or $90, or a vacuum cleaner or something like that. So sometimes those items actually bring more than the collectibles and things. And I'll tell you a little secret. We was bidding on a unit. We didn't get it today, but if you look, these stars are alternating. That's a 50-star flag. I spotted a 48-star flag in one of the units I was going to bid on today, and the other units got canceled, so I didn't bid on it. Hidden, we actually do. We have found some gold coins. You don't find them very often, but we have found some gold coins. We do find medals. We do find banknotes and tokens and things like that, but not very often. Uh, you'll hit a unit that where the guy or their dad or mom collected coins or things like that, and I have hit units where there's a lot of silver dollars. Yeah, all you got to do is register, and that's all you got to do. And what I like to do is we're going to try to actually with the whole Uncle Jed auction shed thing, we're going to try to go a little bit more further out in the United States and get a little bit better known. We love everybody that's on the auction and every new person that we meet, from Sandra to Peaches to Don and John McCormick over in Virginia, and the folks out in California and down in Texas. We love everybody. We just want to try to spread out a little bit more. We'll sure do it, Hidden. We'll sure do it. And we're going to try to create a website later on. We might use you, Hidden, to do that. We just love people in general, and a lot of people they'll see me like I'll tell you guys since we're talking. We sold $1,200 Tuesday night. Tonight we did $1,900. And a lot of people will look at me and they'll say, "Man, he's got money. He's making $5,000 or $6,000 a week, $10,000 a week." But man, trying to take care of all this, I'll tell you that in a minute, D. Scott. But we give a lot of our stuff away. We try to take care of people's. That's not. How would I put that? Thank you, Glorious. That's having a bad time. That can't pay their light bill. I'll give you, for instance, we got a text from somebody last night that said there was a single mom that had 4 children, their lights was out. And last night, of course, it was cold here. And I don't answer all these messages because I know some people are trying to scam and things like that. And I couldn't imagine. She said, she didn't ask me. She said, "This is my friend. And is there anybody that you know that could help her with her lights, get her lights back on?" And I knew there wasn't in this town. So we just went ahead and she sent us her number for her electric company. And I had India to go ahead and put money on her lights, get her lights back on. Because I could imagine being a single mom and having 4 kids. I didn't know their ages. And I couldn't imagine them sitting there in the cold, no TVs. And so we got their lights turned back on. And that's what we do with a lot of our money that we get. Sometimes I look at India, I'll say, "Man, we made so much this week. Where's it all gone?" And we want to help people. And that's one of our main goals. I don't think we'll ever be millionaires, and I don't think we'll ever. I've wanted a truck for a long time, and I've never had a good truck. And one of these days, I'll get me a good truck, but right now there's too many other needs and people that just need something. They need their lights paid. They need food on the table. And I am, but I'm not really good. There ain't but one good person that's ever been. And that was Jesus. And there's just sometimes things moves upon my heart, and we just do it. Yeah, Nathan. And I've been going through a lot. I'll share with you guys. The last couple of weeks has probably been the hardest time in my life. And I try to get on camera and be Uncle Jed and entertain and smile and be up. But for the last 2 weeks, the enemy has came against me in a way that I ain't never had happened to me before. And I keep smiling and I keep going because I know there's a lot of people that depend on us. And I don't mind sharing it. I don't mind being emotional. But I know what, in the end, it's going to be okay. So if you ever see me and I'm not myself, yeah, Sandra, sometimes that's what I do. And it helps. And when you go to sleep at night and you have nightmares over the things that's coming up against you, it's like you can't get any rest. Yeah, morning's going to come, that's for sure, Boreas. So you just you go on and you push on. Sometimes you just have to be quiet and let God work things out. Because the more you say about it, the more you think about it, the more you worry about it, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything at all. Because I think about yeah, that's why I love my campaign slogan, us. Because so many times, and we have a lot of people in this town that looks up to us and that counts on us, and they know that I'm real and I'm not fake. I don't do anything for gain, and people are counting on me, so I've got to stay strong. And I'll answer your question, D. Scott. When we get mayor, we've got India, we got Christie, and if nothing's going on in the town, I'll keep doing the auctions at the nighttime. We'll keep doing treasure hunting. I'll just send my guys to pick up the unit, and then we'll go through it when we get back here. But we want our town. There's so many people that's hurting in our small little town of Scottsville. A lot of people. They work. Their husband works. The wife works herself. They've got their kids at a babysitter, or there's a kid old enough to babysit at home, and they're working their fingers to a bone. They don't get vacations. They don't get to buy nothing extra, and they're working, trying to make ends meet. And it's hard on them sometimes when they see their kids not sporting the new shoes and new clothes like the other kids, and they don't understand. So that's what I'm all about. I want to help them to be able to go beyond just making ends meet. I want them to be able to enjoy a family vacation with their kids. I want their kids to be able to enjoy holidays. I don't want them to see them, mom and daddy, in the bedroom crying or fussing about bills and things like that. Kids shouldn't have to live like that. They really shouldn't. They shouldn't have to worry about the weekend coming and not knowing if the house is going to be warm, if there's going to be food on the table. A little 7, 8 years old should not have to worry about things like that. And it breaks mom and dad's heart that they can't take care of their kids sometimes. I want everybody to prosper, and that's what I've got in my mind for this town, is for people to prosper. Sandra, I know you've shared your story before, and Sandra came up in she said it there so I can say it. She came up in foster care, And you see what she said. She's at the town dump for clothes. And now Sandra's doing good. And I'll tell you what, most of some of you guys may not know Sandra, Draft Horse Diva, but she's got a big heart. And Sandra, I'm gonna brag on you whether you want me to or not. But many times when we called out for help, Sandra's been there, and most of you guys have. You've been there for us when we had a need here in the town that needed to be met, whether it was homeless or somebody needed to be fed or something needed to be taken care of. Sandra and a lot of you other guys, you've been the first to step up to the plate, and you don't even know us in this town, not a bit. You don't. Scottsville is just a little place on the map for you guys, but you opened your hearts up, you opened your wallets up, and you guys, you wouldn't believe the people that you've helped in our small town, and that means something to me. It really does. One night we was doing a Catholic church auction out there, and they had a lawnmower up, and the guys, what you guys wanted to watch on YouTube, and I said, now you can't bid because it'd be too confusing getting the shipping and everything coordinated. And Sandra bid. We had the lawnmower up at $600, and I think it was Christy Shields that was monitoring the YouTube, and Sandra bid like $650. And I was like, Sandra, we can't ship this lawnmower to Mississippi. We just can't do it. She said, just take my bid. Just take my bid. And so we took her bid, and nobody else bid. It was $650, I think it was, Sandra. And I said, sold to Sandra in Mississippi, and she said, sell it again. And the people, Sandra, if you could have seen the look on some of the people's faces in that church, it would have blessed your heart so much. Just fantastic. And not only Sandra, but a lot of you other guys, Peaches, Don and Bill, so many times when I've reached out to you guys and told y'all we had a need here in Scottsville and Allen County, you have gave back, just like Sandra said there. And I need to get to work. I've got to shut that generator off out there and go out in the snow. So, guys, I'll shift the camera around and let you sort of see if you want to keep watching a little bit and talk to each other and socialize with each other and just love each other. And, man, I've done sat down here and I've talked and I've cried. And I've got to get back to work. But God bless you guys. Love each and every one of you so much. Thank you, D. Scott. I appreciate it, buddy. And if we're blessed enough to become mayor of Scottsville, we are going to do our best to move Scottsville forward and be a model, a city sitting on a hill, so that other little small towns can say, hey, Scottsville, they're prospering. And I'll share any knowledge that I get with those towns and help everybody out. And a lot of little small towns need a blessing. Scottsville's one of them, and there's many other small towns, Mississippi, Georgia, Virginia, all over the place that needs a blessing. So, guys, I'm going to put some music back on and quit crying. All right, guys, and I'll turn the camera around when we're trying to work and stuff. We'll put some music back on. Let's see what we got here.
The finest girl ever on me. Well, she really fills the clothes from her head to toe. I want the world to know. A love who's alright. She's alright. She's alright. She doesn't think about the thing at night. The finest girl ever on me. Well, she's like honey from a bee, like peaches from a tree. I love her, need her. Give me so much of this, she's alright. She's got what it takes. She's got what it takes, and with the way she'll really raise. Well, now she's my cutie, my tutti frutti, my heart, my love, my baby beauty. She's alright. See the finest girl you ever wanna meet. See the finest girl you ever wanna meet. See the finest girl you ever wanna meet. Well, come on, everybody, let's get together tonight. I got some money in my jeans and I'm really gonna spend it right. Well, I've been moving my home for gone a week long, and now the house is empty and the folks are gone. Woo! Come on, everybody. Well, my baby's never warm, but I'm gonna dance with 3 or 4. And the house will be shaking from the bare feet slapping on the floor. Well, when you hear the music and you can't sit still, you brother wanna run and your sister will. Woo! Come on, everybody. Come on, everybody. Come on. Come on. Well, we really have a party, but we're gonna put a guard outside. And my folks come home, I'm afraid they're gonna have my hide. Well, there'll be no more moving for a week or 2. I'm all hanging around with the usual crew. Who cares? Come on, everybody. 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 Come on, come on, come on.
Well, get out in that kitchen and rattle those pots and pans. Yeah, get out in that kitchen and rattle those pots and pans. And I'll roll my breakfast 'cause I'm a hungry man. I say shake, rattle and roll. Come on, shake, rattle and roll. You gotta shake, rattle and roll. You gotta shake, rattle and roll. Well, you won't do nothing to save your doggone soul. Wear those dresses, your hair done up so nice. Yeah, you wear those dresses, your hair done up so nice. Well, you look so warm, but your heart is cold as ice. Ready, shake, rattle and roll. Come on, shake, rattle and roll. You better shake, rattle and roll. Come on, shake, rattle and roll. Yeah, you won't do nothing to save your doggone soul. How about get on that? Go. I like a one-eyed cat sleeping in a seafood store. I like a one-eyed cat sleeping in a seafood store. Hey, I can look at you and tell you ain't no child no more. Well, I believe you were doing me wrong, and now I know. I believe you were doing me wrong, and now I know. Well, the more I work, and then the faster my money goes. I mean, shake, rattle and roll. Come on, shake, rattle and roll. You gotta shake, rattle and roll. You gotta shake, rattle and roll. Yeah, you won't do nothing to save your doggone soul. Hey, rattle and roll.
Come on over, baby, whole lot of shake going on. Yes, I said, come on over, baby, baby, you can't go wrong. We ain't faking, whole lot of shaking going on. Well, I said, come on over, baby, we got chicken in the corner. Woo, huh? Come on over, baby, really got the food by the horn. We ain't faking, whole lot of shaking going on. Yeah, baby, shake, baby, shake. I said, shake, baby, shake. I said, shake it, baby, shake it. Then shake, baby, shake. Come on over, roll on the shake going on. Oh, let's go. Chicken in the barn, who's born, what's born, my born. Come on over, baby, really got you moved by the horn. We making a whole lot of shake going on. Even now, shake it. Shake it, baby. Yeah. You can shake it one time for me. Has to come over, baby. Well, I'll shake it on. Now let's get real low one time now. Shake it, baby, shake it. All you gotta do, honey, is kind of stand in one spot. Wiggle around just a little bit. And that's when you got it. Yeah. Baby, well, I'll shake it on. Now let's go one time. Shake it, baby, shake it. Shake it, baby, shake it. Come on, baby, shake it, baby, shake it. Come on up, oh, lot of shaking going on. Come on, baby, let's do what's twisted. Come on, baby, let's do what's twisted. Take me by my little hand and go like this. Yeah, just like that. And do what's twisted. My daddy is sleeping and mama ain't around. Yeah, daddy's just sleeping and mama ain't around. We're gonna twist it till we tear the house down. Come on and
twist. Yeah, baby, just like that. And do this. Yeah, you should see my little sister. You should see my little sister. She really knows how to rock. She knows how to twist. Come on and twist. Yeah, just like that. And do this.
Yes, Christy, we like it. Is it too early for this? Oh, that's the wrong end.
Good golly, Miss Marley, sure like the ball. Good golly, Miss Marley, sure like the ball. When you're rocking out alone, hey, hear your mama call. From the early morning to the early night, when the comments Marley rocking at the house of the
I'm reading
light.
comments,
Good golly, Miss Marley, sure like the ball. When you're rocking out alone, hey, hear your mama call.
Hey, we all made it, guys.
Mama, Papa told me, son, you better watch yourself. If the new promise, Mama, I have to watch my promise self. Good golly, Miss Molly, so like the ball. When you're rocking out a rolling, can't hear your mama call. Good golly, Miss Molly, so like the bone. Good golly, Miss Molly, so like the bone.
Sure, I would.
When you're rocking out a rolling, can't hear your mama call.
Well, I would love to.
On the $5 range, which is part of me, kiss me, name it, ting-a-ling-a-ling. Good golly, Miss Molly,
Hey,
so
Barbara.
like the bone. When you're rocking out a rolling, can't hear your mama call.
Yeah, we definitely would. Uh-oh. There's my guy.
Walking through a party in the county jail. The prison band was there, they began to wail. The band was jumping and the joint began to swing. You should have heard this knocked out jailbird sing. Let it rock. Everybody let it rock.
Everybody at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Was dancing to the jailhouse rock. Spider Murphy played his tenor saxophone.
What about this
Little
thing,
Joe
Scott?
was blowing on the slide trombone. Drummer boy from Illinois would crash, boom, bang. The whole rhythm section was a purple gang. Let's rock. Everybody, let's rock. Everybody in the cell block was dancing to the jailhouse rock. Number 47 said to number 3, you the cutest jailbird I ever did see. I sure would be delighted with your company. Come on and do the jailhouse rock with me. Let's rock. Everybody, let's rock. Everybody in the whole cell block was dancing to the jailhouse rock. Let's rock.
partner use a wooden chair and rock. Everybody let's rock. Everybody in old cell block was dancing to the jail out rock. Shifty Henry said the books for heaven's sake. The one's looking out a chance to make a break. Brother turned to Shifty and he said, Nix, Nix, I wanna stick around, I wanna get my kick and rock. Everybody let's rock. Everybody in old cell block was dancing to the jail out rock. Dancing to the jail out rock. Dancing to the jail out rock.
Get too old for this crap. Hello? No, I'm not having fun.
Take out the papers and the trash.
I'm out of breath. I'm fixing to walk home. No. Elvis was a handsome guy. That's right. Whew. I'm out of breath. You need to be going to sleep. You got to work tomorrow. I'll be up. I'm out of breath, D. Scott. No, we're fixing to shut down. Christy's called me on the phone. I'm going to put you on speakerphone. There you go. I'll give myself a 6 on that from 1 to 10.
What?
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I about lost it on that one move. I about went that way. My body was wanting to go that way, but I just about lost it.
I noticed. That's why I called. You're going to break a hip and nobody's there to call the ambulance.
I got 18 people watching.
Okay.
I ain't going to break no hip. I ain't no old man. You guys tell her. This ain't my first rodeo. Whew. I am out of breath.
No.
I need to quit smoking. That's for sure.
But you know you just turned 65 and you can't be doing that stuff.
I did not. I just turned 57. D. Scott said he's out of breath watching me.
Me
Hey,
too.
you know what we did last year? They had this Jacksonian 5K. We actually ran the 5K.
No, we
Right.
actually didn't walk.
Well, we walked some of it, a lot of
You ran
it.
like 2 minutes. Like,
But you take me as a smoker,
and
and
not all at once.
I do play basketball, but we ran that 5K, walked part of it. But just finishing it was an accomplishment for us.
Okay.
Gloria said she was dancing in a chair. Sandra said she would have to say she's falling and can't get up.
She said, okay.
All right, go to bed. You got to work tomorrow. It's almost 3 o'clock.
You
What?
sent us all home.
What?
Don't act like, you know.
I've got 2 blocks to walk in the snow, and it's fine. I enjoy walking. Go to sleep.
I'm afraid I'll get up in the morning and you'll be laying there like stiff, blue, and hip broke.
Hey, if I'm laying here stiff and blue, that means I'm going on to glory. I'll say hi to Jesus for you.
You don't have to worry about that. I say hi to him every day.
All right. Good night, Christy. Everybody tell
All right.
Christy good night.
Bye. Good night, everybody.
As she was worried about me. But we're fixing to turn out the lights, guys, and I think we got enough done tonight so it won't be so hard on us tomorrow. Did anybody else dance with that Elvis song a while ago? I'm not just now catching my breath. Been a fun night, guys. The auction and this part too It's been great sharing a few little things with you guys. And sometimes we won't have an auction. We'll actually go on there on YouTube here and actually tell you guys some of the stories about treasure finds and maybe a little bit about our life history. But thank you guys for watching, tuning in again. Peachy said she did in her chair. Hey, do you like me dance? I was dancing with an office chair. Oh my goodness. But I live about 2 blocks away. We're going to get the lights out, turn this off, and see you guys tomorrow night. Hopefully after our auction, we'll come up there and holler at Christy. God bless y'all. It's been fun. Coconut water. I bet I love India don't like coconuts. I love coconuts. Ugh. Good night, everybody. God bless y'all. Love y'all. Be sure to come and see Miss Emmett tomorrow at her food truck, and our in-house auction tomorrow night at 6, and our online auction tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. It's going to be a great day tomorrow. We're looking for God to bless us and to bless you guys. God bless y'all. God bless America.